Hey guys, we got our Deadpool trailer here. This is going to be my breakdown of it. Deadpool 2, got about 57 images here that I took from it. So let's go through this as fast as we can and see how we can do this. So first shot here, we got Deadpool in his car just listening to the opening song, All That I Love, from the opening song of Deadpool 1. And then we get Deadpool running away from a bunch of gangs of guys and jumps into the car. We get him hanging out there. Then we get some shots of as he's talking to Deadpool about the different. They're kind of talking about different stuff, and they're just talking about different things that's been going on. We get to see him, fighting a different bunch of guys very fast. We get a shot of Deadpool in high heels. That looks kind of funny there. Then we get a shot of Deadpool just coming home to Vanessa, and looks like she's kind of mad at him. Maybe he's late or something for date night or something like that. But then he immediately just goes and tells her, it's like, oh, sorry, I was late. I was kind of sending all the gluten up into space to stop it from harming us. And then she sort of laughs and stuff, and they're all kind of good with there. And then we get the shot of Cable, and we have like a voiceover of Deadpool kind of going, oh wow, who's this? Kind of surprised at this, but it really does sound like the audio was kind of removed from a different part of the movie, and that reaction that he has to Cable, it seems like in the trailer, is probably a reaction to something else. It doesn't look like he's actually here, and they don't meet till later on, which we do see in the trailer. We get a shot of cool Cable's eye and stuff. Then we get a shot of Cable just talking and revealing his guns and all that stuff. Then we get a shot of Cable kind of talking. It looks like he's talking to Deadpool. You can clearly see him there. We get a shot of talking about this kid, how it looks like the story is that Cable's coming back in time to find this kid and kill this kid, and Deadpool's trying to stop him from killing this kid. Or it's implied that this is the kid that they're talking about. It could be a totally different kid that are just kind of reverting our expectations and teasing us, sending us on a wrong track with the trailer so that it could be holding a different other kid type thing. That could be the option. We get, again, Deadpool and Cable kind of teaming up, and they're fighting, and he points the gun. Looks like he's pointing the gun here, but this is clearly a totally different scene that we do see later on, with all this red and lighting and stuff. I'm assuming he's probably putting this at maybe Deadpool, but probably Colossus or something like that. And then we get, we go back to that other scene where their first meeting looks like, and he just hits him with his arm, just sends Deadpool flying. Then we get a shot of Vanessa and him just kind of together, and she mentions kids, so as if she's interested in kids. That could be a cool idea, seeing them talking about kids. Does Deadpool want kids? How is that going to work out with his conditions and all that stuff? That could be quite fun to play with. And then we get a just shot of them and some postcards and some letters and stuff. They're still dating and all that. Then we get a shot here. We have this kid kind of with all kinds of explosions and fire. It looks like he has some sort of fire powers. Unclear as to who this kid is, if he's anyone from the comics or an original character. We'll have to wait and see. But it looks kind of cool. He might be Pyro, is some of the rumors. But we'll have to wait and see who turns out to be. It could even be Sunspot for all we know. And we get just Cable kind of jumps down this kind of skyscraper. And, it's just kind of crawls and jumps down, just kind of glides down using his arm to scrape through the building and everything, which is pretty cool. And then so again he's just kind of grading through the building, and then we see the kid just giving the middle finger, and then we get to see this shot of Deadpool kind of riding the motorcycle. We've seen this motorcycle actually on in the set photos and stuff, so that's just a cool shot there of him riding that, probably chasing after Cable as he's running on one of the big trucks that we've seen the set photos of, which we see later in the trailer. We get I can't think of her name. We get her kind of back here. His roommate, Deadpool's roommate, is back. I think that's really cool to see that. And then we get our first look at Naked Song at Teenage Warhead, Deadpool. It looks like he has a bit of a darker suit on, but it's still a bit red here, so it's unclear if this is a dark suit, or we'll see how that goes. No idea who this character is. We see her later on in the trailer, but still have no idea who this character could be. I'll have to take a look at that and find out who that is. We get Deadpool in the X-Mansion with Colossus, and then we get Deadpool just playing around on the chair. And there was a rumor coming out now that just came out just after the trailer that there'd be a big cameo in here, and I could see someone like Patrick Stewart, making a cameo in here right after Deadpool's playing with this, and all of a sudden someone else comes in and says, "Hey, don't touch that," or is this before or after before Patrick Stewart's death in Logan or type thing. Who knows? It'd be really cool to see that. I think a lot of people are also talking about either Patrick Stewart or Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. I doubt we'd get the Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. Maybe get another Wolverine actor as that could be something funny. Maybe Hugh Jackman as himself, not playing Wolverine. Just Deadpool goes and finds Hugh Jackman and annoys him, or calls up Hugh Jackman and says, "Hey, can you be in this?" And he's like, "Deadpool, no." And it's like, I'm done playing that character, and he just kind of puts it to bed, that fact that he's done playing the character, because he plays himself in this. I think that could be a fun idea for Hugh Jackman to cameo in the Deadpool movies. The closest thing we'll get to Hugh Jackman's Wolverine would be Hugh Jackman playing Hugh Jackman in here and just saying, "Yeah, no, I'm not doing it. I'm not putting the claws. I've put the claws down." I think that would be an interesting cameo to have, but we'll have to wait and see how things go for cameo-wise with this. And then we get a shot of the X-Jet kind of just arriving. Looks like it's where that kid was blowing up some stuff, or accidentally blowing up some stuff, which looks like some sort of mutant halfway house, or a mutant place, or like a nut job place, or some sort of mutant center, where they're trying to hold mutants and stuff, maybe them hostage. Then we see a shot of Weasel in his in his bar. We see a few shots later on at the trailer, at the end of the trailer, and we get to look at Terry Crews' character. He's been rumored to be in here, and we don't know who he's playing. It hasn't been announced yet, so we'll see who that is. Obviously, it looks like it's someone who's strong, because just before this kind of frame, we see him punching someone, knocking them out. So he must be somehow strong. Looks kind of cool there. Then we get a cool shot of just Domino. I think we've seen this one before in the last trailer, very bits and pieces of it. Again, we get that girl, the purple hair, and she has an X logo on her, so she's probably an X-Men, but who is she? I don't know. Her chains kind of light up a little bit as she's kind of swinging them around, and she's about to hit someone. Then we get Deadpool going through a bunch of, I guess, potential X-Force characters. And we get Peter, don't know who this guy is or anything like that. We'll have to wait and see who that ends up being. And then we get just some shots of some guns, like this gun getting cocked. I think this is probably some sort of, get this. Then we get some swords here. I think these are kind of sets up of, Deadpool is about to go in and take down a group of criminals, and they're all waiting for him. And this is them, getting all their guns, like, "Oh, Deadpool's here," and that's when the alarms get sound, and they all get ready, go to their command, get ready to shoot, and attack Deadpool type thing. I think that could be it. Them weaponing up, and we get Deadpool just on a ship, on a cargo plane, and he says, we're called the X-Force, and Domino says, "Oh wow, it sounds a little bit on the nose, isn't it?" And then here we have interesting stuff. Looks like we have Billy Skarsgård here, who played It in the latest It movie. That's really interesting to see that. It's really going to be fun to see what type of role they put him in. I mean, he's clearly great at doing the whole scary clown and scary and creepy, and manipulating his face and stuff for the roles like It and stuff. So I think it's going to be cool to see what they use for him. And then again, we get the shot of all the X-Force and stuff. Domino, Deadpool, Terry Crews, and Billy Skarsgård, and then this yellow guy back here. Who we'll have to wait and see. Then we just see Deadpool kind of jumping out of the plane with a parachute on, but nothing really specific there. Deadpool attacking these two guys with swords. Looks like he's attacking maybe some sort of samurais or something in the middle of their bath session or whatever. They all have swords, and he just chops the crap out of them. I think it's going to be a fun scene for that. And then we get Deadpool, and looks like he took off his mask, put his mask on, but didn't tuck it into his shirt, so it's going to be cool. And he looks like he's covered in flour, so that's kind of interesting there. And maybe he's back at his place with, I can't think of her name, but with his roommate. So we'll have to wait and see what that is. And then here we get again, it looks like there's a bunch of these guards from a mental institution, maybe where the kid is being held, maybe where Domino was before, and maybe where Deadpool and on the kid that Cable's looking for is it being held, and where he does the explosion of fire type thing on the outside of it. So we'll have to wait and see what that one is there. Then we get Deadpool, just kind of, he hits this guy with, looks like a brick. At first, when the trailer went fast, I thought, was that a continuation of that other shot with him, some sort of flour or white powder type stuff? It could be cocaine or something. We'll have to wait and see. But it is just a brick. So if you see here, you see him hit solid. And one thing I didn't notice until I was taking these photos here was, quick shot, was that it's actually there's actually see Cable there, so Cable is clearly here at this point. And maybe at this point, since Deadpool's not attacking Cable, by this scene in the movie, are they friends yet? And are they working together now at this point? That could be cool to see that. And it's cool seeing Deadpool's costume. If we look at his costumes here and there, looks like he's duct taped it up in spots and stuff to keep it together. Maybe at one point he got cut in half and he's just duct taped the suit back together. I think that's quite funny to see that. Or it's some sort of maybe it's something like tinfoil or something. Looks kind of cool, funny there. And then here it looks like we have, this looks like to me a version of a version of the X-Force costume, that gray costume. There was that set photo where Brian Reynolds was taking a photo with one of the crew members, the costume department guy, and there was like a ton of costumes in the background, and they were all obviously in the background type thing. And this looks like the one of it, because it did have that big scar on it. It's unclear if this is going to be it, or if this is just kind of like, oh, he's dirty and this costume is dirty or something. But the lighting on here doesn't look like it's giving off any bit of a faint red. Like it's just a darker, they made a darker version of the red suit so that it looks like it's dirty, so that you don't have to add dirt to it. It's just a suit that's made to look dirty, and it always has that dirty look to it. But this definitely looks like a black or a dark gray X-Force version of the suit. But it looks like at the same time that someone else put this on him, because clearly someone puts this anti-mutant collar on him at this point. So we'll have to wait and see. This looks familiar from the opening of Deadpool when Ajax was selling the mutants to the buyer he had at the beginning of the movie, the first movie. So that'll be cool to see that. And this looks like maybe it could be that kid again, just in different clothes. We'll have to wait and see who that could be, but it looks like him. And then we get Deadpool waking up and getting out of this coffin. Again, we've seen this shot before. Nothing too new there. But I guess I'm assuming that one of these guys are who he's been going after, or he's going after this guy, or one of these guys, and that's where we see him kind of shooting these guys. I feel like this scene might be like the ending of the movie, and this is where he finally gets the revenge he wants on these guys, and he just kind of wastes it, and then they just boom, cut scene type thing, end of the movie. I think that's the way I could see this scene kind of going on in the movie. We'll have to wait and see though for that, because these guys are all clearly packing heat. They're clearly his guards and stuff. We'll have to wait and see how this one turns out. And then we see the shot that we've seen the set photos of downtown Vancouver with the Cable kind of on top of this stuff. And I thought that this scene would be kind of all CGI'd and stuff, so that to look like the future and all that. And there were some shots of him at night and all that. I thought this would have been part of that shot. It's where we saw him in that full skin tight bodysuit shot with the little bit of a green hand. That looks like it would make sense. I thought that would all be like futuristic, dark, nighttime type scene, but looks like this scene is just clearly broad daylight. Or maybe they took the original footage of this, put it in the trailer, whereas in the movie they could take this whole scene and just turn it into nighttime with CGI, and there you go. It's a totally different scene type thing, and you have in one way in there, and I think it could be a cool idea to play with that. Maybe there's something else missing here, but it is a really cool shot to see that. And we see the DMC here. We do see that later on. Here we get a shot of Deadpool. It looks like he just landed, and then he's about to get hit by another truck, another military SUV type thing. That's cool there. And we Deadpool with his head on backwards. That's quite funny. That's probably the same truck that just hit him, so that's probably how his head gets turned back around. And then we get Domino fighting. Looks like she's fighting some of these guys, probably these the guards in some sort of a mental institution that we saw earlier before when Deadpool hit the guy with the brick. So that looks like it's the same scene there. And we get Negasonic Teenage Warhead kind of powering up. And then there's some sort of purple thing here. Maybe that's the purple character, purple girl we saw before. And looks like she's still on the outside of the building and all in the same location we've seen her. The same location throughout this whole trailer. Just outside of the mental institution or the X-Mansion. We'll have to wait and see. Maybe Deadpool shows up and she's in the middle of training her or vice versa type thing. That could be quite fun to see that. And then we get a shot of Cable. It looks like this could be somewhere maybe at Weasel's bar. We'll have to wait to see for that. And then we get a shot here But it looks like Deadpool. This looks like the kid that Cable wants to try and kill, and Deadpool's trying to protect. And then Deadpool kind of blasts him with some sort of ray gun that kind of picks him up off of his feet and just sends him flying. And it looks like it's Deadpool there, but it's unable to tell exactly who that is. Or where this is, but I doubt this is the same exact place that we've been looking at, so we'll have to wait and see where this is. It definitely looks interesting here. Maybe Deadpool, maybe he's already brought, at this point, Cable's already brought this guy back to the future. We'll see how that works out, but it looks kind of fun there. And then we get Deadpool, kind of looks like maybe he's showing up somewhere, probably at outside the mental institution where the kid set off the fires. And looks like he's wearing an X-Men stuff, or maybe just about to get into the X-Mansion, but it's unclear if these cops are trying to stop him or not. It doesn't look like it. And then he puts on an X jersey. I think it looks cool. Like, it's really going to be cool to see how this works and how often he gets to wear this. The meaning behind this is going to be a fun idea, I think, for this shirt here. And then we get again a guy kind of with DMC guy, which is the big truck. Looks like one of the trucks or the van, or maybe this is where Deadpool gets hit by the truck, and then he's on top of it. And then the guy tries to shoot him, and he just kind of puts his hand through it, and Deadpool makes him shoot himself. And then that's the last shot. So we get any other shots here? It's just kind of Domino and Derpinder's car. Nothing really to talk about there. And then I think just Weasel and Deadpool talking about how 2 is enough. That's it. No, don't do a sequel after a second one. You beat the dead horse type thing. So I think that's really going to be fun to see this. And these photos will definitely get me excited for the movie. I can't wait to see how things kind of go with this. Now that we have started to get more positive reviews from the test screenings and stuff, and it did score the most recent, if I'm not mistaken, the most recent test screening did get a 9.8 type thing, so a 98 score, which is fitting for Deadpool since he first appeared in New Mutants 98. So all in all, I'm really glad to see this, and there is that rumor of a big cameo in here. I'd hope it to be Patrick Stewart. I feel like that could work very well, and with it being Patrick Stewart, I feel like it could be a longer cameo too. Whereas if it's Hugh Jackman or something, I could see it being Hugh Jackman playing himself. I don't see it being Hugh Jackman wanting to come back and play Wolverine, but I could just see, Deadpool literally calling up Hugh Jackman and saying, hey, will you come back and play Wolverine? And Hugh Jackman playing himself, just being like, no, I'm done with that. I hung up the claws. It's enough, Deadpool. Hanging up as if Deadpool's been calling him multiple times to try and get him to come back to play Wolverine. I think that could be a funny idea, a way to really break the fourth wall. Is, the character asking the actor to come back to play the character. I think that could be quite funny to see that. So I think it could be an interesting idea. But we'll have to wait and see who it is. Could be anyone. Could even be someone else. We'll have to wait and see. It also could just be some big celebrity, maybe like Matt Damon in Thor Ragnarok, which that one would kind of be a little bit more disappointing because it's just a random big celebrity who wants to be in Deadpool and not kind of an X-Men cameo, which means bigger things for the whole universe rather than just kind of a throwaway celebrity cameo, which was like, yeah, it's cool, it's funny and all, but it doesn't really mean anything. Whereas Patrick Stewart as Xavier means a lot for the whole universe and universe building character wise and all that stuff. And having Hugh Jackman and stuff would be another funny thing with me close to him playing Wolverine type thing. Closest thing to him coming and playing Wolverine with Deadpool. So I think that could be quite fun to see that. So all in all, it's really going to be cool to see here. I can't wait to see what these all mean. Let me know who you think would like to see be the big cameo, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.
I'm Captain America, here to talk to you about one of the most valuable traits a soldier or student can have.
Subscribing.
Sometimes subscribing is the key to victory. Sometimes it leads to very little, and it seems like it's not worth it. And you wonder why you waited so long for something so disappointing. How many more of these?
You're still here.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, guys. Peace.
It's over.